Yeah. You know where we are headed. Already more than 2 hours and 19 minutes, 2 hours and 20 minutes into my marching dance art, yours truly rock and roll towards the mountain. Towards the mountain, gonna begin with gratitude, grateful, thankful that my rent's paid. Paid my rent, paid my electricity bill, got food and coffee when I get back home. I got some wafers, chocolate bars, and some more pyramid wafers. So encouraging all to work out, train, exercise. Working out, train, exercising has been, is, and will be my medicine and therapy of choice. Beautiful lights. Thank you, Hydro-Quebec. Go Hydro-Quebec, go. Let's build more dams here in Quebec as we're gonna go to the mountain. Already a few hours on my march from my neighborhood. A bit more than 2 hours and 20 minutes on the march. I didn't film because it was the meteorological weather environmental conditions did not allow for the best filming, and I didn't want to damage my work tool. This newly acquired from about 2 months ago, smartphone. Grateful, thankful, rent's paid for the month of January 14th, first day of the full moon. LOV to the firefighters, LOV to the firefighters in North America, LOV to the firefighters, the butchers, the bakers, the nurses, the doctors, the grocery store clerks, all involved in the production and the distribution of food. Gonna stretch left and right, special Dragon versus Trump. Overtime, every time I already been, it's already way overtime for yours truly, more than 2 hours and a half marching in this weather conditions. I gotta say that I feel it. Yesterday clocked in more than 5 hours and a half marching on, January, I guess, is the toughest in terms of the cold and the sleet and the winter conditions. Then it gets a little bit better, January, after January, February it started getting a little bit better. And, winters have changed also a lot. But we'll see sometimes. Depends, I guess, year to year nowadays. We've been having a lot of snow, and now it's normal temperatures. I think it's about -5 today, -5 until about midnight. And it's supposed to drop some more, then we'll see how it is for tomorrow. But don't mind winter, don't mind snow. Quebecer, Canadian, North American. Previous lifetime incarnations, 3 times was born in the USA, that way. Post 70-76. Once a woman, twice a man, served 2 times in the same United States Army, 2 different wars. Those wars 156 years apart. Calling all willingly loving, pledge your allegiance, legions. Pledge your allegiance, sending some LOV for the reconstruction of California. LOV to the firefighters, please. Bayonets. Finance the firefighters who have fought in the wildfires in California, on other wildfires, and all rescue operations workers. Some good massage therapy sessions, because I wish I could afford one. I've been saying on my videos for more than 4.5 years now, almost, maybe more than 5 years, maybe more than 5, that I will wish to afford a massage therapy session. Although my $10,000 debt, financial stress, just financially stressed, joyous today, content, happy, joyous, but just financially stressed, although open for business, wishing that could afford a massage therapy session, but you know what, finance the firefighters and the nurses, public workers who pick up the garbage, the compost, the recycling. Thank you for picking up the garbage last night, yesterday, Monday, today is Tuesday. So LOV to the public workers, finance them. Firefighters first, and nurses and public workers of the North American Civilisation complex of North America. Finance them some massage therapy session, because tomorrow I can take a bath and I can bathe and I can immerse myself an hour in the bath. And I got Made in Canada bubble bath. I got that Made in Canada bubble bath. And that's what it is with that. Got some of my brothers and sisters from Texas plates, coming for some LOV, sending some love to Texas. Roamed there around about in a past life down in Texas. How's Dallas? How's Austin? Let's get that North Americans unite for the collective. The Democratic Republic, my dream. Fundamentally for the North American complex, coast to coast, ocean to ocean. Gotta give some salutations, some LOV to the public workers who clear the streets. Thank you for the snow removal operations. You see, you got a big machine and a small machine. You got a big machine and a small machine. You got a big machine and a small machine. Some brains and some muscle. And I gotta turn my head left and right before I cross the street here. And see that the name of the street is kind of blurred. Now it gets, I gotta check my eyes with the optometrist. I think I have some visual impairments from afar, you know. I think from afar I have visual impairments. See, those numbers are blurred, but they become clear. So I think I have to get my eyes checked with the optometrist. Anyways, that's D. Ramsey here on Westmount from my neighborhood, NWO. I wish I could buy my anonymous friend, who wasn't my friend because of the money, cause I never really had any. I wish I could give a half of a million, a billion, a trillion, give half, 50% if I make any. And wish to buy my anonymous friend a house. Deserves to be 7 times richer than Oprah, Celine Dion, and Beyonce, and Lady Gaga, and Meg Thee Stallion. Rock and roll for the butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors, grocery store clerks, some LOV. To the warehouse workers, train conductors, with that grain on the trains, thinking about them, doing geopolitical meditation. As you know, this Aspie, got at Asperger's HFA. It's geopolitics. It's my kingdom, my realm, and it's from the morning till night, 24/7, to study the analysis of daily geopolitical events and happenings, and of course, all the geopolitical events of the past, revisions, and sports and fitness, dancing being my favorite sport, and dancing being my favorite fitness activity, and rocking that roller, rocking that roller, rocking that roll. That Trinity, Holy Trinity, you know, with Asperger's, people with Aspies. You know, we have what's called special concentrated interest, special concentrated interest. And those special concentrated interests are, of course, relegated with intensity and concentration and super in it. So that's my trinity: geopolitics, rock and roll, and sports and fitness. Dancing is my favorite sport, but that's what it is, my holy trinity. Also known as special interest. Also known as special interest, where we're super focused, super intense, super concentrated, but I do not use the appellation obsessive interest, because a lot of citizens do use the appellation terminology obsessive, although obsessive has a more negative connotation, while for people like myself who are neurodivergent, since due to the fact that Asperger's is not a mental illness, it is just a neurological mental divergent condition, which makes me predisposed to obsessive interest, and repetitive routines sometimes can seem rigid and inflexible. And when I do geopolitics, which is hours and hours and hours every day, I can seem very intense and focused, such as when I march, which is part of my workout. While I march, I bust a dance move and stretch. And when I rock and roll, I can go in rock and roll trances for hours and hours and hours and just sing that rock and roll, you know, rock and roll. Rock and roll for the farmers. What here with the chopper, with the butchers out, with the cooking. Smelling good, you know that rainbow dragon, that's a look. Hey, look, got the buildings, the construction workers, where the cranes are on the lanes, they switching, that's the trucker, that's a famer. You know I play black and white and rainbow. That's the sing up in you know, that's the singer, swing it. On the Mount Royal, that's we be. Mount Royal, that's the island of the Hawk. In the Montreal, that's what's up. Hey, you're gonna see, here we are, a little bit of a map. So here we are, right at the center, but south. But between the east and the west, it's between the east and the west. It's exactly between the east and the west and the heart of the island. So see, you have this big river. So me, I live around here somewhere. I live around here. Where do I live? It's not this side here. So I live further east. So it's further west. So I live that way is west. So on the map, west is the other way and east is the other way. So the map is turned the other way, but it's not shown. Where I live is not shown. I'm kilometers and miles. I'm more than 13.3, 13.4 if I go, depending on which. You can go like a snake and be longer, but in a straight line it's about 13.3, 13.4 kilometers. So here we are. We made it. Just let me just put a little bit of that garbage, and I got something to discard here. Just gonna put some garbage. I'm not gonna get rid of the red bag, my favorite color. I'm gonna keep it, but just some garbage. Anybody wants to finance, make an offer for my bag, make an offer for my bag, you know. Make an offer for my bag. I'm gonna go up all the way to the top. Anybody wants to finance, I go up and down these stairs 300 times. Just going up and down, you know. 300 times. I can just go up and down. We'll rock and roll. $300 Canadian. Special Dragon versus Trump edition. Challenging Donald Trump. I've been challenging Donald Trump to a boxing match on the Canadian-US border ever since he imposed, and the first administration of Trump in 2018 spring imposed tariffs on Canadian aluminum and steel, tariffs on Canadian aluminum and steel, and ever since then I've of course challenged Donald Trump to a boxing match on that Canadian-US border as I go up. Oh yeah, I feel that good. I need to take a bath tomorrow because I didn't take one yesterday. Today's Tuesday, so tomorrow I got it because I didn't take during the weekend. Usually I take once a week. Last Saturday, Sunday I skipped, so, and I didn't get a massage therapy session. I didn't get a massage in years and years and years, and that's why I kind of will to get it on the massage, and of course to get it for the butchers, the bakers, the nurses, and the doctors, the grocery store clerks, you know. Gotta get that east, west, north, south, and thanks to Hydro-Quebec workers of the past, we're now in the field, and that's why we got these lights, you know. I almost felt like, I said, now I'm sore. I felt like turning back a bit. I said, but you know, I'm gonna go to the top, come back, and still gonna clock in more than 5 hours. Probably same as yesterday, maybe exactly same. So I said, it's usually a minimum of 4, or a winter, Monday to Friday, I will to average. So for 5 days, sometimes it can be 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then 6 plus. As long as I average from Monday to Friday 4 hours, that's the minimum. So it's whatever the days add up. Sometimes average is 5, sometimes it's even 6, depending, you know, what it is. So that's what it is here. And yeah, I gotta turn my head left to right. Sometimes there's skiing, you know, skiing happening. So anyways, I said that I was gonna turn, but so you know what, the firefighters, and the butchers and the truckers and those nurses, you know, they're there working, and I'm going to be thinking about them, dedicating for the goddess, forgotten goddess, and my brothers and sisters who came here, you know. I will to build the forgotten goddess temple, forgotten goddess, GODDSS. I credit my survival to the forgotten goddess, GODDSS. Survived COVID, died in my room. I'm going to mark 5 years soon since I survived COVID back in 20 February, March. Is like death, pestilence, and disease. Like death, pestilence, and disease. It was like death and pestilence and disease. I know it sounds like a hardcore rock metal song, you know, like a death metal, trash metal title of the album, but that's what I had. That's what I had, you know, and that's what it is, you know. That's what I thought I was gonna die, and in many ways I did die, but I survived somehow, you know, and here I am in my second home, a Mount Royal, in the Mount Royal, you know. So that's what it is with that, and that's what it is with XYZ, and here I survive, you know. So that's what it is with the LOV. I love coming here, and I love getting on the road and I love exercising, and I love, of course, training and exercising and getting on the go, and being active, physically active, has been, is, and will be my medicine and therapy of choice, And fitness, sports, dancing being my favorite fitness activity and sport, but of course I do enjoy winter. I don't mind winter, and that's what it is with that, and that's what it is with the XYZ, and that's what it is. Anyways, now I enter in a little bit of rock and roll trance, so I gotta say my gratitude, say my gratitude with that. Always joyous and happy that I see some people, physically active, and I don't mind winter. I love winter, but that's what it is with that. And we got LOV, so we gotta get it on the LOV with that. We gotta get it on the love, so that's what we gotta get on loving, so it is a joyous occasion. Whenever I come here, I always feel joy, it's the joy, here when it goes, so it's a joyous occasion, when we come here with that, and when we come here on the mountain, my second home, it's something which I always gotta be careful, because there's branches, which fall, so you gotta be careful, prudent. See, there's a lot of branches. You can even see the visibility of them. The branches sometimes fall. See, that's what it is with that, and the branches fall, so that's what it is, so here we're in the wilderness, that's what it is. We're in the wilderness, so we gotta be mindful of that fact, Here we have to be extra careful for the others and for the self, and be mindful that the branches of the trees can fall, because if they fall like that one, remember during the spring and during the summer, I often take the branches from the main road, so I take them out, and that's what it is with that, and that's what it is. I take them out and I put them on the side. So just like now here, just like driving, I gotta stay as right to the right side as much as possible, to my right side as much as possible, to my right side as much as possible. Principles are simple, but another principle is I'm in the public. I'm not in my underground room office and temple, I'm not in my underground room office and temple. I'm not in my underground room office and temple, I'm not in my underground room office and temple. So I got added responsibilities, duties, and obligations which I do not have under the normal circumstances of life, which I would have had less obligations, less duties, less responsibility if I would have stayed in the Dragon's Lair home, my home. Now I'm in the public, so it's always a public-private partnership. Right now I'm in the public-private partnership, it's got to be mindful of my security, my liberty, and for years and years this was a YouTube channel that I have, my work, and meditations, and now my brain switches always to the politics. I even when I come here, I do meditations and revisions of the geopolitical events of today. Mainly and mostly is the countdown to the Trump administration. Mainly is the countdown to the Trump administration. 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 That's what it is, and here we are. Atop the mountain. Atop the mountain. Joyous but financially stressed, but joyous and financially stressed, joyous and financially stressed, joyous and financially stressed, joyous and financially stressed. I know somebody's making LOV, saw somebody hugging earlier, gives me hope. It's not all about the money. Please, millionaires, give some charity. NFL, National Football League, National Hockey League, NBA, National Basketball Association, MLB. Please reduce the cost of the tickets for the sports by 44.9%. Call it a heart from his independent athlete. He's also an artist, philosopher, geopolitical theoretical analyst, and theorist and mystic. Reduce the costs, please. NFL, National Football League, NHL, National Hockey League, NBA, National Basketball Association, MLB by 44.9%, and give mass buildings, mass billions for the reconstruction of California, that LA areas where there's lots of fire and around the LA devastation. Sending LOV to the firefighters, and please mass finance together millionaires, billionaires, and the owners, along with the millionaire players of the NFL, National Football League, NHL, National Hockey League, NBA, National Basketball Association, MLB, and Wall Street with it. Mass finance the rebuilding of the North American urban cities. Mass finance the rebuilding of the North American urban cities. Mass finance the rebuilding of the North American urban cities, aka the North American ghettos, aka the North American ghettos, aka the North American ghettos. Need to mass rebuild, That's what I need to do. And it's so fun. It's a lot of fun coming here. But it's not just fun during the winter. I mean during the summer and the autumn. It's also fun now during the winter. There's less and less people, but yesterday were less. I guess temperatures are better today than yesterday. Today there seems to be more people skiing, hiking. Me, I got that backpack. See that full moon, goddess, Judy DSS. Credit to yours truly, Adrian Hanna Dragon. Androgynous, pansexual, aspia artist, athlete, philosopher, geopolitical theoretical analyst, and theorist, and yours truly, mystic. That's the I of the goddess Judy DSS, created with 718 trillions of kisses. Trillions of kisses, which I got created to lay the foundations here. From Mount Royal Conjuring Act to lay the foundations for the kingdom, the dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom. Right here from the Belvedere, and you can see the moon there. See, that's the moon. See how big it is. It's huge. So that's east, southeast. So now we're heading east. That way is south, that way is north. I'm coming from the west. I'm coming from the west. And all those lights, thank you to Hydro-Quebec workers, Hydro-Quebec who build the dams, and we need to build some more, and we need to get that North American Union, financially stressed, and that's it, that's all, that's it for the moon, that's it for the moon with that, and that's it for the, well, we're gonna give it on the doers, something which we gotta give meditating. So the meditations are always constant when I come here in terms of geopolitics, and again, the main event is, of course, Donald Trump's coming inauguration. When he's gonna be inaugurated, on the 20th. 6 days counting. My DRT theory best, brothers and sisters, I gotta say it, and I'm gonna be discussing it, of course, because it is the only solution which can solve the current economic, public financial situation, and there's no other way around it. As you see the beauty of the moon as I go here on the steps, got those boots, auctioning everything that I'm wearing, the boots for $1 million. $1 million, the hat, the pants, auction him for, give half to my anonymous friend, 50% half to my anonymous friend, half my anonymous friend, and that's what it is here, you know. My fellow citizens jogging. Always got to encourage people who work out. It's a good fitness, you know. It's a good fitness, you know. It's a good fitness, you know. So exercise, and always brings me some joy. And I see people physically active. It's something which I do very regularly and daily, intensely. Quite focused, concentrated, lost between 80 and 93 pounds, and it is one of my main interests, fitness, sports. Dancing is my favorite sport, and dancing is my favorite fitness activity. Always have some choreography in my head now, as I see at the moon, you know. Adrian on a dragon, rainbow dragon, priestess of the goddess, aka rainbow dragon is priestess of the goddess, rainbow dragon is priestess of the goddess, saluting, of course, so firefighters and butchers, the bakers, the nurses, and the doctors, grocery store clerks. How about the truckers on the road transporting those eggs, that bacon, that milk, that cheeseburger, cheese, lentils with it, all sorts of goods, pork beans, pork bellies, all sorts of produce for the families to eat, for us to eat. Not just, of course, edible goods, but also other goods across the North American Collective, and the train conductors with it, and also those, of course, in the construction workers. Give me a little bit for those electricians, the plumbers, the carpenters. How about some IT workers? Plumbers, electricians, IT workers with it. Plumbers, electricians, carpenters, and IT workers help support build the North American people's Imperial Coliseum, the North American people's Imperial Coliseum, and the Forgotten Goddess Temple, Forgotten Goddess Temple, the Forgotten Goddess Temple, Forgotten Goddess DSS Temple, and the House of the Dragon, Pyramid, Scarlet Crimson. My will to build the, which help support, and my trains of kisses, feet washing up, put on the table as a service, feet washing services, massages, kissing, rock and roll, for the construction workers to build the North American People's Imperial Coliseum, the North American People's Imperial Coliseum, the North American People's Imperial Coliseum, the North American People's Imperial Coliseum. Let's go NFL National Football League, NHL National Hockey League, NBA National Basketball Association, MLB, parallel, and face-to-face. Quarter the Forgotten Goddess DSS on the Canadian-US border, both. For that DGA Dancing Goddess Army, for that DGA Dancing Goddess Army headquarters, aka the North American People's North American Citizen Integrated Dance League, North American Citizen Integrated Dance League, parallel to that, and that's with the North American People's Imperial Coliseum for the Dragon Army for security service and defense only. For security service and defense only. For security service and defense only. The Dragon Army, aka North American Citizen Integrated Defense Security Service Force, short for Dragon Army. Hill, battle up the hill. Ooh, gotta get those knees bent a bit, military drill style, and push a little bit, leap forward like a frog, you know. Sometimes you just gotta. I know the mountain even in past lives when I come here often. Not every time that I come here, but often, every full moon, every noon, sometimes every when the sun's shining, and the hawks, my totem bird, HAWK, the hawk bird. We have hawks, and I get flashes right here on the mountain, atop the Belvedere, Conjure Neck, the chalet. I get flashes of reincarnation, past lives when I was born a man and woman. Sometimes you get that 50-50 now. Quebecois, Quebecer woman, and Canadian, United States, and even before 1535, you know. But yeah, sometimes I was born a man, sometimes a woman. Previous incarnations, past lives, you know, it varies. And here I am now, full moon, first day yesterday, peaked at 6 o'clock, so today's the first day, going on the second day already, third tomorrow, and That's it with the rock and roll, you know. So it's from 6 to 6 to 6, 6 p.m. to 6 p.m. to 6 p.m. to 6 p.m. So it's like 666, you know, if you will. So because it was yesterday, the peak started at 6 p.m. So lasting the effect 3 days after blessings and consecrations. God has got those trillions of kisses. Gonna get that XYZ. That's what it is, you know. It's here in the mountain you get a taste of the wilderness and civilization with it, and they gotta go for the paths, and you got different trails, and you can explore the mountain. But on conditions, weather conditions like this, I really recommend, if you're not familiar with the mountain Mount Royal, one of the 3 peaks, the mountain system of 3 peaks at the heart center, right exactly at the center between the east and the west, but slightly south. So not exactly in the center between the north and the south, but between the east and the west. So if you're not going to get it on the go, you know, that's what it is, XYZ, and we gotta get it for now. And so I recommend stay on the main paths. Stay on the main paths, because there's some danger, you know. We have rabbits, we have lots of flora, we have lots of fauna, so that's something that you got to be mindful on. And here we are at the headquarters of the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Kingdom, and laying the foundation with trillions of kisses, to lay the foundation. Laying the foundations for the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Kingdom. Headquarters of the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Kingdom is right here at top Mount Royal of the Belvedere. And right here you can see, of course, the Quebec flag. We gotta put that US with it. Let's put the US Mexico with it, and the dragon flag, red, crimson, and the DGA Dragon Army flag in between that, with the United States with it, North American flag, unite, create a flag and fuse them. And of course the 7-pointed star for the goddess with that I, non-sectarian Telemite. For my fellow Telemites, and North American Democratic Republic, the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Kingdom, a non-sectarian Telemic Kingdom, a non-sectarian Telemic Kingdom, and non-sectarian Telemic Kingdom, and non-sectarian Telemite Kingdom, you know. That's what it is with that. And here it is, my favorite city, best city in the world, in North America, best among the best, because we got great cities in North America, right? We're North Americans. I'm Quebecer, Canadian, North American for world peace. That pyramid is my skyscraper favorite one, and I'm gonna sing some rock and roll. And this is the headquarters of the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Kingdom, and we need to put one of those flags, the US flags, merge them up. You got the US, Canadian, and Montreal, and put that Dragon Army flag with it, the red, crimson, scarlet dragon with the eye of sun, solar lunar eye, and with that also the Dancing Goddess, the Dancing Goddess, 7-pointed star with that green, gold, and black. And here's the headquarters of the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Kingdom, and here we are, gonna sing some of that rock and that roll on the rocket as we go. You know, you on the mountain, that's the steps, and you know, Rainbow Dragon gotta kiss, you gotta sing it. That's the skyscraper, that's the moon. You know that I sing a swing a sooner with the kisses and the hugs. Ghost construction workers, that's skyscrapers. You know that I get the lights for the bridges makers. And the beautiful city, yeah, the lights, that metropolis, that's the hawk. You know, somebody kissing, somebody hugging. That, you know, you see that shaking of the booty, that's the shaking that you see. And the taxi driver going crazy for the dragon rock and roller, clap it with it. Don't forget to tip it with it, Beautiful city, that's the Scarlet, that's the Hawk Island, surrounded by the river. You know that we play a river, and you see that beautiful, that's the beautiful moon for the goddess. I say sing it and you swing it. For the top, the skyscraper, I say bring it for the kisses, bring it for the blessings. For the Montreal, you know we said it. For another kiss, for another hiss, that's the Hawk, you know, up in the island, that's a miss. Mrs. B. for the bees, unlike the workers, going up and have built the skyscrapers, yeah. That's the city of the hawk, Montreal, you know, supper. You know, that's the kisses. For the builders, construction workers, I'm the rainbow dragon singing. Freestyling on the bridges that's surrounded by the river. That's 2.5 million people. That's an island you say live on it. For the left and for the right, for the left and for the side. That's the pyramid, my favorite skyscraper. And you know, put a draper, sing to it. See you later. I got him on truck and I need to go get hydration and somebody go skiing there. And you can ski here, you can just be careful where you go because it might be some danger if you come here, but other than that, you're invited, you know, everybody from learn some French here, you know, we liable and we gotta do it on the XYZ, and that's why we gotta be mindful, you know, of the beautiful city, you see. Well, some people made it, good for you, and that's my favorite skyscraper. Imagine all the buildings, construction workers. We need to build more hydroelectric dams. We need to build more hydroelectric dams. I need to build more hydroelectric dams, and I really gotta go do me some hydration. Gotta get some hydration. Look at the beautiful flags. We need to put some more poles. Put the Mexican and the U.S. flag on both sides, Mexican and U.S. and the Dragon Army flag. And the dancing goddess DGA for the Dragon Army. Scarlet, the Crimson Scarlet Dragon with the sun and the moon and the 7-pointed green and gold star Babylon for us. I hope it's open. I'm super thirsty. Just need to drink, hydrate. I don't know, maybe on the other side here. Or this one, maybe. Sometimes one of them doesn't quite open where. Sometimes it's the other one. Yeah, see? Oh yeah. So if you come here, you can see the paintings. So this is the history. See, all this is historical events. Historical events of the development of Canada, Montreal, Quebec, Canada, but it's not classified by dates. Actually, they're really beautiful. My only call is to put some more 20th century. Like I would put the building of the hydroelectric dams, Hydro-Quebec dams. But I don't have money to commission that, but that's what I would do. Right there, there's an empty spot. Right there's an empty spot. I would put the Hydro-Quebec dams. That's part of the history. That's why we got the lights, you know. The lights here. We want to have the lights. We have on the candlelight. Candlelight, man. Civilization is a privilege, you know. All this is a privilege. So that's what I would put one. Right there, also. Whatever. With the buildings, 1920s, 1930s. Not a lot of people know, but you gotta look up, I guess. And there it is. Historical developments. I'm gonna go hydrate. Just imagine, to have water here. Just to have running water. So I'm imagining that they brought the pipes somewhere by the mountain underneath, and they connected the pipes to get running water here. I wasn't there to see, but quite an engineering achievement, you know. If you think about the work involved, just to have running water here, you know, top the mountain. Hey, see all the running water here, just to drink some water. Imagine, I don't know exactly because I wasn't there, but Publik works, you know. Publik works. I'm grateful. I'm gonna hydrate. Gonna be finishing my workout. This is my work. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yes. Ah yeah. Oh, see? Now I feel much better. Now I feel much better. So imagine all that, just quite an achievement in public works. Just to get the water atop the mountain and see now how it's and another one here. So how my mind functions, of course, due to geopolitics being my special interest, also known as obsessive interest, I immediately correlate the water with the geopolitical realities of the day and the fact of my prediction back of hey, thank you for cleaning, thank you public workers for cleaning, thank you for cleaning. Hey, salut!
Salut!
Comment ça va?
Ça va, toi?
Bonne année, je t'ai pas vu pour te dire bonne année.
Ah ben ouais, moi aussi, je t'avais pas vu.
Ben ouais. Santé, bien content de te revoir en santé pour 2025.
Ouais.
Des résolutions?
Non.
Rien contre?
Non.
Ok.
J'espère qu'ils ont mis le gros lot, là. Tout le monde, hein? Tout le monde, c'est ça qu'ils veulent. J'ai plus de chance de perdre du poids.
Ben oui, je pense bien que oui. T'as-tu joué pour en gagner? Parce que si tu joues pas, tu gagnes pas. Il faut que tu joues.
Non. Ça fait mon bout, j'ai pas joué, là.
Ok. Ça se souvient de la joke, la blague qui dit j'attends depuis 7 ans de la gagner. Je vais pas les demandes, mais. J'ai eu combien, mais je l'ai jamais acheté. Mais comment tu peux gagner? Si t'achètes pas de billets, tu peux avoir l'espoir.
Ah, t'étais en haut?
M'en vais chez nous, j'ai faim.
Ok, ouais.
As-tu aimé les bonbons l'autre jour?
Oui, j'ai aimé.
Ok. J'en ai pas de bonbons souvent, là. Prochaine fois.
Ah, prochaine fois, j'ai joué la prochaine fois, hein.
Ouais, j'aime ça les gaufres. Moi, j'étais un fanatique des gaufres.
Ah, c'est quoi ton nom, quoi?
Adrien.
Adrien, moi c'est Maxime.
C'est le Maxime, enchanté. À part ça,
Ça va.
ça va?
C'est tranquille.
Ouais.
Vous envoyez dans la température.
C'est bien content.
Puis là, c'est de neigé, là.
T'as-tu écrit à STM pour avoir la. Tu m'avais parlé que tu voulais avoir la 11, tunnel en arrière? Tu sais, tu m'avais parlé.
Non.
Tu m'avais parlé de l'autobus, il vient de pas.
Le matin, non, elle vient pas le matin.
Ok. Faut que tu
Quand je travaille le matin, elle vient pas, elle passe pas le samedi.
Ok.
Faut que je prenne l'escalier,
Ah ouais.
qui est juste ici, là.
Tu vas perdre du poids demain.
Ah, ben c'est ça. Hey, bye, mon chum.
Hey, beaucoup d'amour, de santé 2025.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao. That's a little bit of a fellow Canadian Quebecer there, a little bit of French, and he's a very jolly fellow, and we have a nice talk, and he's a little bit on we have humor here, French humor, and we gotta be on the humorous side, we gotta be on the humor side, and gotta get on the go. I forgot his name, but he's always happy to exchange a little bit of words. And he's cleaning there. I always say appreciate his service here. He's paid by the city, but it's clean and proper, and he takes it on the go. So that's something which I appreciate, and he's on the lookout, and we have some exchanges. And I don't know if he remembers that I'm an Aspie, I got neurodivergence, and my social interactions can be awkward and weird, and that's what it is, and that's what it is with that. And maybe he remembers, I believe I told him, and that's what it is. And without, anyways, I was meditating, the construction workers, and the construction workers, how they built, all the buildings here, and how it was brought to have, the aqueducts. And I appreciate his service there. It's clean. He always does a good job and cleans, and it's like my second home here, a chalet, So I appreciate having somebody there who maintains the public sanitation, maintains the public sanitation, and it's always good to exchange some words. And it's kind of like an acquaintance who Just an acquaintance who we have friendly citizen relations with, and he's always. I find out he does an extra good job. And friendly. So we had exchange a few humors, humorous deals, and that's how it is. Now that's what I needed to hydrate, so now I feel better, I feel much better. Now that I hydrated, I can discuss the DRT, but the DRT, the death refusion theory, and that's why we gotta get it on the DRT theory, the death refusion theory for the creation of the U, the universal exchange, the universal exchange, the universal exchange, the universal exchange, so we gotta get the DRT, death refusion theory. So why do I make the statement that is the only solution? My DRT theory, the debt refusion theory, of course, it's due to the fact that we now pay 46.5 billion in interest. So the DRT stands for debt refusion theory, the DRT, the debt refusion theory, the debt refusion theory, the debt refusion theory, the DRT debt refusion theory has included in it the monetary integration theory, so that's what it is. So the DRT is the only solution, and my statement is backed by the fact that today we pay, 46.5 billion in interest. That's 46,000 million. A billion has 9 zeros. That's the amount of interest. Just the interest which we pay on the public debt. Keep that in mind again. That's the amount of interest only we pay on the public debt. Just the interest. 46.5 billion in 2020-2021, the fiscal year for the public finances of Canada, for the Canadian public finances, the public debt, on the public debt, just the interest we pay on the debt. 46.5 billion. That's the amount which we pay on the public debt. It went from 20.3 billion to 46.5 billion. Imagine, that's a staggering amount. That's a staggering amount, which we pay, wow, that's fast, which we pay on the public debt. That's talent, LOV skiing, woo. When talent to go on the curb like that, just, I find it, whatever, wow, that was pretty fast. So that's the amount of interest which we pay on the public debt. 46.5 billion. In 2020-2021, we paid 20.3 billion. In 3 years of surely due to COVID, it made that we pay more than double just the interest to serve the public debt. Just the interest on the public debt has more than doubled in 3 years. Due to COVID, of course we gotta get it on the go. So my DRT theory is the only solution. My DRT theory is the only solution. My DRT theory is the only solution. So the debt refusion theory includes monetary integration theory. Monetary integration theory. So monetary integration theory is exactly the financial theory which was implemented in the European Union. The Germans, they destroyed their old central bank, national central banks, and their old currency. The French, Italians, many countries in Europe, they destroyed their own national central banks and their old currencies, and they created a common currency and a common central bank. The ECB is a common supranational financial institution, a supranational financial institution, a supranational financial institution, a supranational financial institution, which of course they had to create. The ECB and the European Central Bank, of course, that's what they created, and that's what it is, that's what it is with the ECB. So the ECB is the supranational institution, of course, which was created for the European Union in the 90s. So that's monetary integration theory, is exactly what was implemented in the European Union. So that theory, monetary integration theory, financial theory, which the Europeans implemented in the 90s, is included in my DRT theory, debt refusion theory. So we're going to take all the public and the private debt, my debt, your debt, our debt, all the debt, public and the private, including my $10,000 to the RBC, all the debt, coast to coast, ocean to ocean, of Canadians, public and private debt. And with, again, there's no choice but to implement my theory or something very similar, due to the fact that paying the interest on the public debt has more than doubled. Paying the interest on the public debt has more than doubled. Paying the interest on the public debt has more than doubled, has more than doubled, has more than doubled, you know. So imagine in the personal financial situation as a citizen consumer, that your private debt would have went from 156 in 2021 to 333 now. Most salaries have not doubled, while the paying the interest on the public debt of Canada has doubled. Imagine a personal scenario, fiscal scenario similar to what the public debt of Canada is facing now. Paying more than doubled, sure, due to COVID protocols and programs, that's why it doubled, yes. But imagine on a personal level, paying the interest would have doubled from 156 to 333. From 156 to 333. From $156 paying the interest to 333. That means that you would have had to cut Netflix, buy less cheese, buy less bacon, buy less wine, go out less, cut, maybe you cannot not pay electricity bill or rent, but because most salaries have only increased by 5, 10, 15%. So you would have had to reduce something, a lot maybe, because there's a big difference, double, paying interest, double the interest. So that's what happened with the public financial system of Canada, public finances of Canada. It's possible that tomorrow a public collapse, or the financial public collapse of Canada, right? The morning 9:30 a.m. on the 20th of January, 3 hours before Trump gets officially sworn in, while Joe Biden still is officially president. You see in the news, CNN, breaking news, public financial collapse in Canada. Finances of Canada, public finances system of Canada collapses. Public financial system of Canada collapses because the fiscal year has entered 2025. So paying the interest has ended for 2024, which was more than double. So now we're gonna have to cut this year, fiscal year. You guess our economy has not doubled. Went only 2%. So simple, that's it. Well, we're gonna cut the prisons, picking up the garbage, the compost, the recycling, the public services, you know. So my DRT theory is the only solution, as I come hiking, working out, training here in the mountain. So there's the only solution. There's no other solution but that. So the DRT theory, the debt refusion theory, which includes monetary integration theory, is the only solution. So we're going to take all the debt, my $10,000 included, $10,000 to the Canadian RBC, Royal Bank of Canada, my $10,000 to the RBC, coast to coast, all the debt, all the public-private debt, we're going to convert it to US dollars. All the public-private debt of Canada, including my $10,000 as a citizen, we're going to convert it to US dollars. Added with the public-private debt of Canada, binational Canada-US joint first, Canada-US joint first, Canada-US joint first, and of course, all that converted to US dollars, that's going to be the initial money supply. All the public-private debt of Canada-US joint converted Canadian debt to US dollars is going to be the initial money supply for this new central bank, which is going to North American Central Bank. We're going to create a new currency called the UE. U.universal, E.exchange, U.unit. UE, U.universal, E.exchange, U.unit. U.universal, E.exchange, U.unit. UE, U.universal, E.exchange, unit. The universal exchange unit, which is going to have the value of the US dollars, which is going to have the value of the US dollar, which is going to have the value of the US dollar. So that is going to put, we're going to put all that money is going to be the initial money supply, the public-private debt. We're going to set an interest rate level of 10% maximum. It could be 3.33, 7.18, 6.1, 9.3, 4.18. Whatever the case may be, 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 you know, whatever the case may be, whatever the case may be, whatever the case may be, whatever the case may be. So all that debt, and it's going to be the public-private debt. The public-private debt. That's gonna be the public-private debt. You know? That's gonna be the public-private debt. The public-private debt. It's gonna be the initial money supply. With an interest rate level of 10% max, we're gonna rebuild the infrastructure of North America. Rebuild, build, construct 44 tunnels. 44 tunnels. 44, the number after 43 before 45 is 44. Construct, build 44 tunnels inspired by the NORAD complex, headquarters complex, Cheyenne Mountain, the NORAD, inspired by the NORAD Cheyenne Mountain complex, by the NORAD headquarters Cheyenne Mountain complex, and Montreal Underground Village, and Montreal Underground Village, and the Montreal Underground Village, inspired by those. Build those in case of a thermonuclear war. Stack them with food, sardines that are good for 5 years, 7 years, 11, 44 years and plus, 44 years and plus, 44 years and plus. See, that's north, that's east, north of the island. You can see here we're at the top. See, then we go down, so 44 tunnels, construct, mass finance citizens fitness, mass finance regular physical activity, mass finance tourism, mass finance the rebuilding of the mass infrastructure of the collective North American civilizational complex of North America, binational Canada, US, get rid of the border. Make a census. Everybody who's lived here in the past 7 years since 2017, when I crossed Canada coast to coast, and it made me establish a strong esprit de corps with my fellow Quebecers, Canadians, and I gotten out of being depressed and gotten out of being suicidal, and I got out of being depressed, being suicidal. I established a strong esprit de corps, like I did with my fellow citizen worker there in the public, cleaning my, not just mine because it's public, it's mine, yours, ours. Chalet at the Belvedere, keeping it clean. Thank you. Appreciate the service. It's always neat and clean, and I find it does a good job. He deserves a little raise for 25, and a little raise. You know, and I don't have a lot of money, but myself financially struggling, but you know, it takes the public and the private. He's public worker, right? Takes the public and the private. This, my DRT theory, takes a public and the private partnership to implement my DRT, my citizen brother Scorpio Astrological Bill Gates of BlackRock and Blackstone are two financial institutions which still work together, but they split 1988/1989 about. Larry Fink of BlackRock and Blackstone is another one. And Scorpio. Bill Gates and Larry Fink, and with the Joe Biden is of course a Scorpio, another one. So that's what it is with that, and that's what it is with the XYZ. So it doesn't matter if it's Sagittarius, but it could be whatever the case may be. All astrological signs put together: Sagittarius, Capricorns, and Pisces, and Leos, and Cancers, and all the good ones, you know. Whatever the case may be, all of them, it could be whatever the case may be, but that's what it is with that, and that's what it is with the XYZs, and that's what it is with X and the Y and the Z, putting them together, and that's what we gotta get doing with that, and it has to be done because paying the interest, only the interest on the public debt has more than doubled. Equate parallel to something which it would have happened to you as an individual citizen, if it would have been, you know, if it would have been of course the parallel for an individual citizen to pay double interest. Obviously you have to cut somewhere, right? Obviously we have to cut somewhere. Obviously gonna have to cut somewhere, you know. Obviously they're gonna have to cut somewhere, you know, and it's so that's what's happening with that, so that's what it is, you know. So good skiing, good for you. Good skiing, good for you. I gotta keep it on the ski. That's what it is with that. That's what it is with that. That's what it is, you know. Could have full moon. The DRT, there's no other solution. You can argue all you want, you know. You can argue, but there's no other solution. That's the DRT is the solution, or something very similar. There's today, this 2025, it's urgent, an emergency. There's absolutely no other solution. There's a solution that we gotta focus. So there's no solution but that, really. But the DRT, due to the fact that we pay 46.5 billion in interest, that's how much interest is paid on the public debt, you know. That is just how much it is. And that's it, that's all. That's just how much interest we pay on the debt, you know. 46.5 billion, 46.5 billion, 46.5 billion, you know. That's 46,000 million. Do the math. It's more than double. Do the math. If your interest would have paid the interest on your credit cards or debt, if it would have doubled, You know, that's what it is. If it would have doubled, you know. Imagine that. Here atop the mountain, you know. Atop the mountain. Pledge your allegiance. Friends with benefits only, don't want to waste anybody's time. Friends with benefits only, don't want to waste anybody's time, you know. Don't want to waste anybody's time. Friends with benefits only, do not will to waste anybody's time, you know. Friends with benefits only, don't will to waste anybody's time. Pledge your allegiance. Dragon Army, Dancing Goddess Army, North American Collective for the Democratic Republic. Here atop the mountain. Yours truly, Barry me with Papa Crowley up in New Jersey. We gotta get it for the XYZ, get it for the XYZ. That's what we gotta get doing with that. And that's what it is here. 2.5 million people, Metropolis Island, Hawk Island, Montreal. Gonna switch it a little bit to that French, and we're gonna go a little bit on that trancey trance. Yeah. There's no solution, brothers and sisters, but my DRT theory. Et voilà. La pleine lune, je vous encourage à faire l'entraînement physique québécois. Sur la montagne, je viens de parler de la théorie de la refusion de la dette, qui est la seule solution au corps et vis-à-vis, bien sûr, au fait qu'aujourd'hui on paye 46 sur la dette publique, je parle, sur la dette publique canadienne, on paye 46,5 milliards. Car en 2020-2021, on payait 20,3 milliards. 1 milliard, c'est en 9 zéros, c'est 1000 millions. Fait que 20,3 double, c'est 40,6, c'est plus que double. En 3 ans, c'est sûr qu'à cause de la COVID, puis j'ai survécu la COVID moi-même, j'étais vraiment malade, je pensais que j'allais mourir, puis la solution maintenant, que je viens de discuter en anglais, ben c'est la TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette. Il n'y a pas d'autre solution, 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 il n'y a pas d'autre solution. Que la TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette, la TRD de la refusion de la dette. Il n'y a pas d'autre solution maintenant, parce qu'on paye 46 000 millions. 1000 millions, là. Faites attention, ne vous aventurez pas trop dans la forêt. Si vous ne connaissez pas la forêt sur la montagne, moi je la connais très bien, c'est comme chez nous. C'est comme ma deuxième maison, fait que je peux faire des aventures, c'est dans cette vie puis dans une autre. Fait que je suis quand même... Je me suis mis à la loi de la nature ici. Puis c'est la coopération, hein, c'est la coopération avec la montagne, la forêt sur la montagne, puis les conditions météorologiques. Donc, je vous conseille de rester où j'étais, soit le chemin principal, il y a moins de danger, mais ça dépend de votre niveau de connaissance de la montagne, du Mont-Royal, qui est ma maison, c'est ma deuxième maison de Mont-Royal, fait des années dans cette vie, puis dans une autre, puis souvent quand je viens ici, j'ai des flashs, des réincarnations. Vous savez, je suis mystique parallèlement en étant un artiste, athlète, philosophe et théoricien analyste en géopolitique, analyste et théoricien indépendant en géopolitique. Je suis aussi un mystique qui n'a pas toutes les réponses, demandez-moi pas, c'est plus de rock'n'roll, ma spiritualité, c'est plus quand même le rock'n'roll que je chante puis que je rentre en transe souvent quand je viens ici sur la montagne, puis je suis bien content d'avoir parlé à mon concitoyen tantôt qui faisait le nettoyage public, puis il se fait un bon travail, je trouve. J'espère il y a une augmentation du salaire, mais je sais pas si j'ai fait de mention. Je pense que oui, l'année passée, il y a 2 ans, parce que ça fait une couple d'années qu'on se jase avec le citoyen tantôt. Puis tantôt, bien sûr que ça l'a fait, bien sûr, mais c'est des choses, bien sûr, qu'il faut qu'il fasse le nettoyage. Puis il fait un bon travail, je trouve. Moi, j'apprécie toujours le nettoyage qu'il fait, puis c'est toujours propre quand il y a de garde. Puis au chalet, je parle le chalet Belvédère, hein, où j'étais tantôt me boire de l'eau, le chalet Belvédère. Puis c'est public, tu sais, c'est pas juste chez nous, c'est pas juste ma deuxième maison, c'est public, tu sais. Ça m'appartient pas, ça m'appartient pas, bien sûr. Ça m'appartient pas en tant que tel, mais ça m'appartient bien sûr, pas juste à moi-même en tant que citoyen, mais ça nous appartient, c'est commun, c'est public. Fait qu'ici, j'ai des responsabilités additionnelles, bien sûr, que j'ai pas chez nous, mais je pense que j'ai fait mention il y a 2 ans que j'ai l'Asperger's, j'ai l'autisme monofonctionnel, mais puis que j'ai certaines difficultés dans la manière des interactions sociales, tu sais, puis j'ai perdu beaucoup d'amis à cause de ça. 7 ans, je fais partie de la communauté LGBTQ, je suis androgyne pansexuel, mais ça c'est juste une chose plus personnelle, mais j'en parle ouvertement. Qu'est-ce que je fais en tant que travail ici? Cette vidéo de rock'n'roll, méditation géopolitique sur la montagne, bien sûr que je suis ici en train de faire la méditation, puis en train de voir les skieurs qui font, puis c'est l'entraînement physique, mon intérêt obsessif. La danse est mon sport préféré, l'entraînement physique que je préfère c'est la danse, mais j'adore ça venir faire de la marche, puis le ski, bien sûr, j'aime ça voir le ski, puis le patinage, puis le jogging, puis toutes sortes d'activités physiques. Toutes les activités physiques, ça me donne plaisir de vous voir, puis je vous encourage parce que ça fait du bien, puis vous êtes actifs, puis je vous donne un petit bisou, puis un petit encouragement citoyen, mais parallèlement, c'est la géopolitique que je vais en parler le plus, puis la TRD, théorie de la refouture de la dette, c'est la théorie que je viens d'en discuter tantôt en anglais, bien sûr, puis c'est pour en faire, bien sûr, la TRD, la théorie de la refusion de la dette, bien sûr, c'est une théorie que je veux faire l'implémentation, puis c'est la seule et unique solution en ce moment, comme je viens d'en discuter tantôt, parce qu'on paye 46,5 milliards, 46,5 milliards, 46,5 milliards, tu sais, 46,5 milliards, 46,5 milliards, 46,5 milliards, 46,5 milliards, 46,5 milliards, tu sais. Ça, c'est le montant d'intérêt sur la dette publique, bien sûr, qu'on paye, bien sûr, sur la dette publique. C'est le montant d'intérêt, bien sûr. C'est un montant énorme, ça a plus que doublé en 3 ans, de 2021, 2021, c'était 2023. Fait la seule et unique, bien sûr, solution que c'est la TRD, la refusion de la dette, pour la création de l'unité d'échange universelle. La TRD de Renewal, comme c'est quelque chose de similaire, bien sûr. C'est la seule et unique solution pour faire la solution, bien sûr, pour les faire, pour la sortie, bien sûr, de qu'est-ce que ça fait, bien sûr, dans la condition qu'on est rendu, bien sûr, maintenant des finances publiques. Et bien sûr, la TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette, on va prendre toute la dette ensemble, On va prendre toute la dette ensemble, la TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette, la théorie de la refusion de la dette, théorie de la refusion de la dette. On va prendre toute la dette publique privée, incluant mon 10 000 maintenant, mais je suis joyeux, jovial, content, mais je vis juste un stress financier en ce moment, sérieusement, mais je vis juste un stress financier. Après, à part ça, ça va bien, tu sais, je peux pas me plaindre vraiment, mais je suis content, je viens de faire mon entraînement physique, je suis rendu au sommet de Belvedere, fait que je suis quand même de bonne humeur, fait que juste un stress financier, mais la TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette, théorie de la refusion de la dette, la TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette, c'est bien sûr pour en faire la TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette, bien sûr pour en faire la TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette, TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette, la TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette, bien sûr, pour prendre toute la dette publique, privée, puis faire bien sûr une solution, parce qu'on est rendu à payer 46,5 milliards, 46,5 milliards, 46,5 milliards d'intérêts. Fait que bien sûr, on fait ensemble, c'est une solution bien sûr pour le faire, bien sûr, la solution. Donc, 46,5 milliards, 46,5 milliards, 46,5 milliards, bien sûr, c'est la solution de la dette. C'est le niveau de la dette, service de la dette, l'intérêt qu'on paye sur la dette publique. Fait qu'imaginez-vous qu'en 2020-2021, c'était 20,3 milliards. 20,3 milliards fois 2, c'est 40,6. C'est rendu... c'est rendu 46,5. C'est rendu 46,5 d'intérêt, bien sûr. C'est rendu 40,6 milliards, là. 46,5 milliards. Fait que c'est urgent, c'est possible qu'on ait une catastrophe financière publique. C'est pour ça la TRD aujourd'hui, c'est un paradoxe, mais c'est la seule et unique solution. Il n'y a pas de solution que pour les finances publiques maintenant, parce qu'on paye plus que double l'intérêt. L'intérêt seulement, juste l'intérêt sur la dette publique. Imaginez-vous, en tant que citoyen individu, que votre intérêt allait de 156 à 333, de 156 à 333, de 156 à 333. Plus que double en tant que votre salaire ou mon salaire, imaginez-vous, serait augmenté de seulement 5, 10 et 15%. Mais la dette publique canadienne, c'est pareil. Notre économie n'a pas doublé là, en 3 ans. C'est juste 1%, 0,2% de croissance. Là. Le service de la dette paie l'intérêt sur la dette a plus que doublé. De 2020 à 2021, c'était 20,3 milliards encore. 20,3 milliards, c'est énorme. 1 milliard, 100 000 millions. C'est 20,3 fois 2, c'est 40,6 milliards, c'est 40 000 millions. Cette année 2024 qui vient de finir, c'était plus que double. C'était 46,5 milliards. C'est 46 000 millions, là. 46 000 millions, juste l'intérêt. Fait que c'est possible qu'il y ait un effondrement des finances. Mais la paradoxe, c'est la théorie de la refusion de la dette, qui inclut la théorie d'intégration monétaire, ce qui est exactement la théorie que les Européens ont fait l'implémentation des années 90. Les Allemands, les Italiens, plusieurs pays ont détruit leur ancienne banque centrale. Leur ancienne banque centrale, on va faire pareil. On va détruire, on va annuler notre banque centrale, on va prendre toute la dette publique privée ensemble, incluant mon 10 000, on va ramasser, on va faire l'addition, on va faire la conversion avec la dette des États-Unis, avec la dette des États-Unis ensemble binationale, comme la Ligue de hockey nationale, bien sûr. On va la faire ensemble, bien sûr, ensemble, on va faire l'addition ensemble. Cette addition-là, ça va être un montant, bien sûr. Ça va être un montant, bien sûr, énorme, en des chiffres énormes, bien sûr. Fait qu'on va faire tout ça. Toute cette dette-là, ça va être, bien sûr, le montant d'intérêt sur la dette publique. Fait 46 milliards, c'est 46 000 millions qu'on paye sur la dette. Fait qu'on va prendre toute la dette publique-privée, on va faire ensemble, bien sûr, pour en faire toute la dette publique-privée ensemble. Ça va être ensemble, bien sûr. Ça va faire toute la dette ensemble. Ça va être un montant énorme. Et bien sûr, tout cet argent-là, ça va servir en cause. Toute la dette publique-privée ensemble, tout cet argent-là, ça va fonder l'argent initial pour une nouvelle banque. Toute la dette publique-privée, incluant mon 10 000 en tant que citoyen. Mon 10 000, ton 10 000 de côte à côte, convention ensemble, converti dans la devise des États-Unis, car dû au fait que le dollar des États-Unis est encore la monnaie de change pour le commerce global et pour l'export, tous les échanges du monde, la géopolitique, la diplomatie, le tourisme, toutes ces choses-là, bien sûr, pour l'en faire ensemble, bien sûr. C'est des choses qu'il faut qu'on fasse, bien sûr, puis il faut qu'on fasse, bien sûr, puis c'est des choses, bien sûr, qu'il faut qu'on fasse, bien sûr, et bien sûr qu'on faut qu'on fasse. Bien sûr, et puis ça va être comme ça. Fait qu'on va prendre toute la dette publique-privée, bien sûr, puis ça va faire, bien sûr, des choses qu'on va devoir faire. Et bien sûr, c'est ça qu'il faut qu'on fasse. La théorie de la refusion de la dette. Il n'y a pas de solution, que la théorie de la refusion de la dette, pour la création de l'unité d'échange universelle, pour toute la dette publique-privée convertie ensemble, on va convertir toute la dette publique-privée dans la devise des États-Unis. Fait que tout cet argent-là, ça va fonder l'argent initial pour une nouvelle banque. On va faire la création d'une nouvelle banque centrale, comme parallèlement les Européens ont fait, puis la création d'une nouvelle monnaie. Oui, on ne s'ostinera pas. En anglais, c'est pareil, on ne s'ostinera pas. En anglais, c'est pareil, on ne s'ostinera pas. En anglais, c'est pareil. Oui. U point unité, un point échange, U point universel. U point unité, un point échange, U point universel. Le oui. U point unité, un point échange, U point universel. Le oui. L'unité d'échange universelle. On va mettre un taux d'intérêt de 10% maximum. Ça peut être en bas de 10, 3.33, 1.56, 7.18, 6.1, 9.3. En bas de 10. Avec tout cet argent-là, on va reconstruire, rebâtir l'infrastructure du Québec, bâtir plus de centrales, l'Hydro-Québec, construire, bâtir 44 tunnels. 44, le chiffre après 43 avant 45, c'est 44 tunnels inspirés par les montagnes à Cheyenne, puis bien sûr par le village souterrain de Montréal, puis on va bâtir ces tunnels dans le cas d'une guerre thermonucléaire ailleurs, dans le cas d'une guerre thermonucléaire, on va bâtir ces tunnels pour la survie, pour que le collectif nord-américain, pour la survie du collectif nord-américain, donc le Québec, Québécois, Québécoises, on fait partie, nous autres aussi, les 10 millions, puis dans le Canada, pour le collectif nord-américain, pour l'Amérique du Nord, bâtir ces tunnels, financer les gens à l'entraînement physique, financer les gens au tourisme, parce que moi, quand j'ai travaillé au Canada, ça fait tellement du bien. Financer les gens au sport, financer mon entraînement physique, financer la reconstruction de l'infrastructure du Québec, du Canada, des États-Unis, du collectif nord-américain. Fait que la TRD, premièrement au Canada, binationale comme la Ligue d'hockey nationale, puis la Ligue de basket nationale, puis la nouvelle Ligue professionnelle du hockey féminin établie binationale. C'est Canada-États-Unis conjoint. C'est pas national vraiment, là. Mais bon, c'est la solution, la TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette, c'est un paradoxe. J'ai souffert à cause de mon Asperger's, la malcompréhension, l'emploi à courte durée, puis ça contrat, puis tous ces obstacles dans ma vie à cause de l'autisme non fonctionnel qui est encore un peu mal compris, mais ces dernières années, on commence à démystifier un peu l'Asperger's. Donc, c'est une condition de neurodivergence. Ce n'est pas une maladie mentale. C'est juste que j'ai ces intérêts, puis cette malédiction, que ces intérêts, ça préoccupe mes journées, mes routines. C'est l'analyse de la théorie en géopolitique. Des fois, je suis pendant des heures, je peux faire l'analyse en géopolitique sans... Je perds la notion du temps carrément. Je suis tellement dedans dans l'analyse dans ma tête. Puis, bien sûr... Le sport, l'entraînement physique, je suis intense, c'est des intérêts intenses, des intérêts spéciaux. C'est pas vraiment des intérêts obsessifs. Obsessif, c'est plutôt plus négatif un peu. Dans la terminologie, j'utilise des intérêts spéciaux intenses. Plutôt cette terminologie moi-même que j'utilise dans les conversations. Bon, ben c'est ça que c'est. Donc, je vous encourage à faire l'amour avec concernement. Donnez-vous un câlin comme jamais avant. Puis, bien sûr, l'entraînement physique. Puis là, je rentre dans la transe du rock'n'roll en bilingue. Hey, you know how we do on the mountain? There we go. That's the snow. That's how I roll. Rock and roll for the lights. You know the sight. Hop, where the bunny, where the